The Force is with you, young Skywalker. You are not a Jedi yet.
Hey, what is up, YouTube fam? Mr. Pre-A Darth Vader here with some sad Star Wars news. It seems our beloved James Earl Jones, who, if you guys didn't know, is the voice of Darth Vader in all the original movies, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith, and countless TV shows, is retiring. And then there's this article by Vanity Fair describing how Lucasfilm is going to go forward. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and check out my last video because that greatly helps out the channel. So let's get into it. I'll read from what it says right here, and then I'll Bogdan Belved was working from home when the air raid sirens went off. They hadn't been heard in the city of Lviv since World War II. It was February 24th, and Russia had just invaded Ukraine. When we heard that missiles were attacking our internet connection was dropping from parts of the country, we got into shelters. That meant him, his wife, and their dog and two cats huddling in the center, blah, 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 blah. But Belved were carried because he needed it to. People on the other side of the world were relying on him, and the project was a culmination of a passion he'd had since childhood, Star Wars. Belved is a 29-year-old synthetic speech artist at the Ukrainian startup Respeecher, which uses archival recordings and an AI algorithm to create new dialogue with the voices of performers from a long time ago. The company worked with Lucasfilm to generate the voice of young Skywalker for Disney Plus's The Book of Boba Fett and the recent Obi-Wan Kenobi series, tasked with him with making Darth Vader sound like James Earl Jones, dark side villain from 45 years ago. Now that Jones's voice has altered with age and he has stepped back from the role, Belved was rushed to finish his work as Putin's troops came across the border. Wow, that's a crazy that's a very interesting story about how, this came to be. If anything went bad, we would never make these conversations delivered to Skywalker Sound, he said. I decided to push this data right on the 24th of February. Wow. Respeecher employees in Kiev also soldiered on while hunkering down. I can't even pronounce this name. I'll say Dmytro Belevstrov, the company's co-founder and CTO, got online in the theater where tabletops, books, and more have been stacked in front of the windows in case of blast. Programmers training the AI to replace Jones' voice, and editors piecing together output work from corridors and interior of their apartments. One took refuge in an ancient brick basement no bigger than a crawl space. Damn, that's crazy. And back at Skywalker Sound in Northern California, Matt Wood. If you guys don't know who Matt Wood is the supervising sound editor at Lucasfilm. He studied under Ben Burt, who was the original sound guy, created all the iconic sounds. He's also General Grievous, the battle droids, and he's worked on a lot of things as far as Lucasfilm goes. Matt Wood was the supervising sound editor on the receiving end of the transmissions from Ukraine. He said they hired Respeecher because of the vocal performances that the startup generators have an often elusive human touch. Certainly, my main concern was their well-being, says Wood, who is 32-year-old veteran of Lucasfilm. There are always alternatives that we could pursue, but it wouldn't be as good as they would give us. We never wanted to put them in any kind of additional danger to stay in the office to do something. What Respeecher could do better than anyone else would recreate the unforgettably menacing way that Jones, now 91, sounded half a lifetime ago. Wood estimates that he's recorded the actor at least a dozen times over the decades, the last time being a brief line of dialogue in 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. He had mentioned he was looking into winding down this particular character, says Wood. So how do we move forward? When he ultimately presented Jones with Respeecher's work, the actor signed off using his archival voice recordings to keep Vader alive and vital even by artificial means. Appropriate perhaps for a character who is half mechanical, Jones is credited for guiding the performance on Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Wood describes his contribution as benevolent godfather. They informed the actor about their plans for Vader and heed his advice on how to stay on the right course. Wow. So, I know in Obi-Wan Kenobi, Vader, the voice was credited to James Earl Jones. I hadn't heard rumors about that, the fact that they had used an AI to redo his voice, but it seems like he just was in the background, like guiding them to go on from this. Before the invasion, there was a near constant volley of information between Wood and Obi-Wan Kenobi director, showrunner Deborah Chow, and Respeecher team. Wood says, for a character such as Darth Vader, who might have 50 lines in his show, I might have a back and forth of almost over 10,000 files. Much of that changes in dialogue and the subsequent fine-tuning. As the Russian attack loomed, Wood says he began pulling back. He remembers thinking, I don't need to go back to them under air raid siren to communicate. This particular part of it is a little different. But Respeecher's team's attitude, he says, let's work in the face of this adversity, let's persevere. Wow, that... See, okay, I just read this article and, you know, I saw people talking online about James Earl Jones retiring. He signed the rights to his voiceover to Lucasfilm, which makes sense. Dude is 92. You know, he's getting up there and he's not going to be here forever. And of course, you know, that's Lucasfilm, Disney's most profitable, influential character. Like, even if you don't know Star Wars, you know who Darth Vader is. You know the misquoted line, Luke, I'm your father, even though it's no, I am your father. Like, you know, everybody knows that. The voice is synonymous. Like, you know, it's one of the most famous voices in movie history. You know, Darth Vader, Mufasa, you know, and all the other movies he's been in, you know, Coming to America, Field of Dreams, and it's just, you know, it's sad because it's not going to be him anymore. And, you know, the funny thing is I always thought that they would replace him eventually with somebody else, with an actor. There's a good number of actors, voice actors out there who can do a decent Darth Vader, you know, myself included. Nobody is ever going to match the actual man. And I'm kind of glad this is a nice alternative to finding somebody else. It's like, okay, they have the voice modulator and everything. They just have to find somebody who can get the right cadence, because you know, anybody can do a deep, you know, dark, you know, voice, but the thing is, like, there's certain nuances to his cadence, like an elongated vowels, like that whole monologue with the, you know, Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and Empire Strikes Back, that famous monologue, like, anybody can say that, like, but the thing is just the cadence, how the performance, just, Luke, you can destroy the Emperor. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Like, you know, like, there's certain nuances to it, so it's not as simple as everything else. And the story right now, also with the fact that Respeecher, the people at Respeecher had to work and do this as, like, you know, the country is obviously going through war with Russia, which is crazy. I had no clue that was going on also, so it just makes this even more impactful with that, and also the fact that James Earl Jones is retiring. Jesus, man, I'm going to really miss this guy. Really gonna miss. I still hope to meet him one day. Oddly enough, I've met every Darth Vader actor out there except for Hayden Christensen and obviously Sebastian Shaw. He's the main one. I've met Dave Prowse and all that. I want to meet him one day. Thinking about all this, it just makes me cherish, you know, this. It makes me cherish this thing even more. So if you guys don't know, this is an actual screen, I wouldn't say screen used prop. This is a I would say production semi-screen used prop. So this is from the Fox Studio offices in Sydney when they were filming Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3, and they made the Darth Vader costume for Hayden Christensen. A buddy of mine, long time ago, got this for me, and actually got it signed by James Earl Jones right down there. You guys can see that he signed that, and they were like, no, like. So I'm definitely going to cherish this. I need to get this like framed and put up, you know. But anyway, sad to hear him go. Sad to see him go. But we all knew this day would come. I'm just glad, like, you know, it's not, you know, ending with his passing. It was kind of like, all right, well, I want to set you guys up with the tools and the knowledge of what I did 40 plus years ago to keep this character, the essence, the soul of this character going forward long after I'm gone. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this, you know, little excerpt from Vanity Fair and everything. It certainly makes me a little sad see him go. I know it does with you, seeing like Darth Vader's my favorite character. But anyway, let me know what you guys thoughts down below, and as always, you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, catch you in the next one. May the force be with you. Bye.